What's up, Taiwan? I'm Yvonne with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Arrival dates and stopover locations have been released for Vice President Ching-te's upcoming trip to the Americas. Lai, who is the ruling party's presidential candidate, is set to leave Taiwan on the 12th. He'll transit in New York before arriving in Paraguay on the 14th. He'll attend Paraguayan President-elect Santiago Peña's inauguration the next day. After that, Lai will transit through San Francisco on his way back to Taiwan. Kuomintang presidential hopeful Hou You-ih has met with Japan's former Prime Minister Aso Taro. It's part of the Taiwanese opposition candidate's push to boost his foreign policy credentials ahead of next year's vote. Hou and Aso met behind closed doors on Tuesday at the headquarters of Japan's ruling party, the LDP. Neither released a statement. But earlier that day, Hou told senior LDP politician Hakiuta Koichi that his visit was about securing peace in the Taiwan Strait.
最主要是希望台海能够安定，台湾安全，日本安心，我们都能够让台日关系更加的紧密在一起。
France's latest 7-year military plan includes, for the first time, sections dedicated to freedom of navigation in the Taiwan Strait. It's part of the country's push to be more involved in the Indo-Pacific region. The 7-year plan has a total budget of about $450 billion, a new record for the country. France's move reflects a trend among leading European countries like Germany, which plan to step up their military presence in Asia. The government has announced plans to build more affordable housing for both older and younger people. The scheme will allow seniors to move to public housing while renting out the homes they own at a lower cost. Bing Wang reports.
Taiwan's Interior Ministry is rolling out the latest phase of a plan to build more social housing and to make homes more affordable. Over the next 3 years, Taiwan will see 80,000 new units, like these ones, built for its older citizens. The goal is to build a total of 200,000 across the country. Taiwan is an aging society, with nearly 18% of the population, or around 4 million people, over the age of 65. That's why the government is trying to make sure the country's older citizens are taken care of. The authorities are now working with local officials to carry out the project.
有16个县市的地方政府，大家齐心努力，让我们一起让所有需要住社会住宅的人都得到很好的可以安居乐业的地方。
Under the plan, senior citizens can also switch from a private home to a public housing unit in a different part of the country. This will allow them to live closer to their families and provide them with safer, more accessible living spaces. Many elderly people have been living in apartments without elevators for decades. Under this new plan, elderly people will be moved to more accessible and safer housing, while their private homes will be rented out to younger people. But not everyone thinks this plan will solve Taiwan's housing issues, especially those faced by younger people, whose wages are lower than those in nearby Japan and South Korea.
Even with the government policies to try to suppress housing price growth, it hasn't really worked effectively as compared to other countries. So we're seeing that wages on the whole are stagnant, while housing prices continue to grow.
The government says it's committed to making housing affordable, giving people a roof over their heads and offering them stability. But with wages that lag behind its neighbors and a rising cost of living, analysts say more must be done to make Taiwan an equitable society. Eason Chen and Bing Wang for TaiwanPlus.
Police in Taiwan have arrested 25 people accused of involvement in the fraud ring. The Criminal Investigation Bureau announced the arrest on Wednesday. The move follows a 2-year investigation into a complex identity theft scheme. The Bureau says the group conned their victims out of nearly $1 million. Posing as police, they would telephone their targets asking for bank account numbers and personal information. Investigators first became aware of the group's activity in the spring of 2021. They eventually untangled the complex network of connections.
诈骗集团刻意筑起7道的防火墙，让警方无法追溯契货到幕后的金主跟首脑。那纵使契货第一层的车手，他还是可以取代，可以继续运作。
August 2nd is Earth Overshoot Day. It's a major event on the climate calendar, but what is it exactly? Sally Jensen tells us more.
Drilling, digging, deforestation, dumping and destruction. The demands people put on the planet and its resources far outweigh what Mother Nature can provide. And as of Wednesday, they've exhausted her capacity for 2023. Over the last 50 years, the world has been eating up resources faster than nature can replenish them. Earth Overshoot Day aims to alert people to this alarming truth. It's a date that's been arriving earlier and earlier, and in 2023 it falls on August 2nd. At the current rate, we would need almost 2 Earths to sustain our way of life. It's a point of concern for the founder of Global Footprint Network, the organization that calculates Earth Overshoot Day.
The Earth has a lot of stock, so we can deplete Earth for some time, but we cannot overuse it forever. It's like with money. We can spend more money than we earn for some time until we're broke.
Each country has its own overshoot day, and Taiwan's is even earlier than the rest of the world's, which means it's consuming resources and polluting at a faster rate than everywhere else. Taiwan's overshoot day was a very early March 14th in 2018, the last time the date was calculated. That puts it on a par with the UAE, Canada and the US. Meanwhile, China's overshoot day for 2023 is June 2nd and Brazil's August 12th.
This shouldn't come as a surprise, given how quickly Taiwan has developed over the decades. But its vulnerability to the effects of this overconsumption, including the climate crisis and biodiversity loss, mean Taiwan may need to do more to push its overshoot day back. Alex Chen and Sally Ensign in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Taichung authorities are blaming the explosion of food delivery services for a major backlog in garbage disposal in Taiwan's central city. Charlie Storer has more.
Every day, garbage trucks deliver their load of non-recyclable household waste to incinerators like this one in the central city of Taichung. But there's a problem. The trash is coming in at a faster rate than it can be burnt. Last year, the city produced an average of 230 metric tons a day of garbage, over and above what it could handle. The city's Environmental Protection Administration believes it knows where the problem is coming from and when it started.
受我们疫情影响我们有很多外送的那个饮食垃圾的部分，使得我们的垃圾量人均垃圾量有增加的情形。
Online food delivery services have exploded in Taiwan in the last few years. Armies of delivery riders ply the streets of the country's cities, and each delivery comes packaged in single-use containers, sometimes with single-use eating utensils, all of it destined for the trash. Garbage that can't be processed immediately by the incinerators is brought here to a landfill site in the city's Dali district. At the end of 2020, the amount of garbage at the site amounted to 80,000 metric tons. At the end of last year, the amount had almost tripled to 230,000 tons. Taichung plans to replace its existing incinerators to increase disposal capacity. But the local EPA says they need to bring down the average amount of household waste per capita. To that end, it's proposing a plan to attach a garbage disposal fee to each bag of trash. The city is also considering incentives to get people to waste less. Devin Tsai and Charlie Storer for TaiwanPlus.
One man has died in Okinawa, Japan, following strong winds and rain caused by Typhoon Khanun. Hundreds of thousands of people were left without electricity in the island chain after falling trees took out power lines. The powerful typhoon is moving slowly toward northern Taiwan before it's expected to move northwards back to Japan later this week. Taiwan issued a land warning for the typhoon on Wednesday evening. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we leave you with images of a supermoon rising over Reese's Temple of Poseidon. I'm Yvonne. Take care and see you next time.